Sam and I are joined by Charlie Adam, who's going to give us his ultimate 11 players you've played with.
Technically one of the best players I ever played with. Both feet was incredible. He was very tough on me as a young player growing up. He set a standard for everybody at Rangers.
Or a captain then.
Yeah.
Marco was a maverick, but for me, I think he should have played at one of the top clubs. On the right-hand side would have been between Shaqiri and Bojan, and I've went for Bojan.
Because Shaqiri scored against Scotland and we've not forgiven him.
Yeah. That was
So it's time for another ultimate 11, and today Sam and I are joined by Charlie Adam, who's going to give us his ultimate 11 players you've played with.
Yeah.
I'm going to be interested in this.
Me too, a variety.
You've just had a few, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm very lucky I played with some good players over the years. So in goals, I would start straight away. I've obviously two decisions, Alan McGregor or Pepe Reina. But I would take Pepe Reina, I think. Ultimately, the way he played with his feet and winning the European Cup with Spain and stuff like that, his career is incredible. Still playing now at plus 40.
Is he?
Yeah, he's playing for Como in Italy with
Is
Fabregas. Yeah, so still playing.
I like that statement. Played with his feet. I mean, I wonder if goalkeepers actually train out today. Like you have training for goalkeepers.
Yeah. Do you think they do?
I wonder if you let them join in the five-a-side. So
No, I don't let them join.
Playing out with the feet.
No, but
like, they've got to be so good at passing. Now,
I know where you're coming from, but to be fair, I did, and I tried and get them involved in possession, because nowadays that's the way, the style we keep talking about and philosophies. But I just think when big saves and big moments, I think he was a top class goalkeeper.
Yeah. So is this your formation? Is this what you...
4-3-3, yeah.
Lovely.
Right back, I will choose Alan Hutton,
Okay.
who I played with Scotland and played with Rangers. Played through the youth levels with him as well in terms of under 18s, 21 reserve team. Flying machine down that right hand side. And for him, he got a big move to Tottenham. I think it was for about 9 million back in the day. Back then, I think it was it Wandy Ramos that might have signed him. Really athletic player, and he was really good going forward. The left back I'd changed, because I don't think that Huts could play in the right left back. Was Glenn Johnson. I don't know, did you manage him anywhere? No. For me, for a full back, could play anywhere on the pitch. You could play him at the top end of the pitch, you could play him centre back, you could play him at the back. Technically one of the best players I ever played with, both feet, was incredible, Glenn Johnson. And again, had a wonderful career, and the games he played for England was unbelievable. Two centre backs. I had a tough choice, because I had a couple of good lads that I played with over, like David Weir, experienced guy.
Very good, yeah.
Was a lot older than me, but really professional when he came into Rangers. Now I was still a young kid learning the game, and the way he went about it. But I've gone for Jamie Carragher in terms of playing for Liverpool, one club. His personality, you can see now in terms of in the media and all that, I think is very good. But was a top class player for Liverpool, the appearances he had and the trophies won. And the other one is Ryan Shawcross, somebody that I played with for 7 or 8 years at Stoke.
He came from Man United, didn't he?
Yeah, Sir Alex put him on loan with Tony, and never looked back, and had a wonderful career at Stoke. Went to the MLS for a little bit, but a few injuries with his back, and obviously had to retire through that. But was a brilliant player for Stoke, great leader in the dressing room. Had in a couple of games now as a interim manager, and he's getting the bug for it as well. So it's really good for him. But he was a very good leader within the dressing room as well. So back four with goalkeeper, I don't think we'll concede many.
That's pretty solid back four, that, Sam. You happy with that?
Well, the ultimate clean sheets. Look where they get you. Eh?
No, I totally agree with you. Clean sheets.
Yeah.
One day everybody will listen to me. You know that.
But
all the managers, if they're watching this now, will say he's right. Let's get some clean sheets on the board.
No, you're right. Clean sheets, because the boys at the top end of the pitch will win you the game. Huh?
That's it.
3 in midfield. I've chosen Darren Fletcher.
Yeah,
who I played with in the national
I'm
team.
liking the amount of Scots you're getting in this team.
Yeah.
What a machine.
No, it was unbelievable.
What a machine.
Unbelievable in terms of longevity, playing the level he played at. Played with him at Stoke as well. But a great guy, an unbelievable guy to be in the dressing room with. But his performances for Manchester United, the biggest club, I think, in the world. and the manager at the time gave him a lot of responsibility for a young age, didn't he? You know, in the big games, in the big moments, playing against the best players in the world in the Champions League. You know, he competed, and to get over 80 caps for Scotland was incredible. My other midfielder I went for was...
Yourself?
No, I never put myself in. I thought,
You can do. You can do. Who was it they put themselves in? Gary McAllister.
There's a difference between me and Gary Mack. He was a very good player. Who else did I put in midfield? Apart from... I put Steven Gerrard in. Speaks for itself. You know, speaks for itself. I think
it does.
One of the greatest players to play for England, but also a lot of people say the greatest player to play for Liverpool, but you know, obviously Kenny's there as well. But Stephen was incredible. Unfortunately, I never managed to play alongside him enough, because when I went there, he had a few injuries and he had a bad groin injury that got a really bad infection. Which was
that through an operation?
Yeah, through an operation, and it was mad because we went in one day and we were preparing for a game, and everybody said, "Oh, I hear about Stevie last night." I said, "No, he got rushed into hospital." So he'd had a groin operation and it got infected, and then it put him back a few months, and it sort of derailed really what he was. But you could see...
How long was he in hospital? Was it sepsis then, or was it...
Yeah, I think it was really bad. I think it was like a week he was in hospital, but you could see on a daily basis he controlled what everything was going on. The way he trained, the level he trained at, the tempo, demanded a lot from everybody. And again, a lot of people would say, you know, going into a dressing room like that, how do you really adapt to it? It was tough for me in terms of, for the first 2 or 3 weeks, I was quite in awe. Like, I was in there with Dirk Kuyt, you know, Suarez, Carroll, Reina, Carragher, big personalities. And you know, when you go into a new club, you keep your head down, don't you?
Yeah, find out, yeah.
But again, you lose the ball, you think, oh no, are they judging you and all that? And then it becomes a wee bit more natural. But brilliant to play alongside somebody like that. And, you know...
So you got Fletcher and Gerrard.
Yeah, and I had to think about who I would put in there, but I probably have to put in Barry Ferguson in there, because again, the way he controlled the football club and controlled a team was very, very good. He was
about time we had Scottish names in these teams, by the way.
He kept rejecting the opportunity to come down to the Premier League, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he
stuck
did.
It with Rangers all the way through, and that was it. And it's a shame that...
I think that's one thing
everybody thought that if he's going to come sooner or later, you know what I mean? Everybody seemed to see the quality.
I think that was one of the things that you would say. But he did come. He went to Blackburn. I think Graham signed him at Blackburn, and then he got a terrible knee injury. He broke his kneecap, didn't he? Was it against Newcastle? He broke his kneecap, and again struggled living away from home, and then went back to Rangers, and was you know, was an incredible player. For a young player, for me growing up, was tough on me. He was very tough on me as a young player growing up, because he demanded and he set a standard for everybody at Rangers. So yeah, I think...
Or a captain then.
Yeah. They three within midfield would be very
solid. That, by the way. Okay, right. So you've got an attacking front three.
Yeah. So on that front three, on the right hand side would have been between Shaqiri and Bojan.
Ooh.
And I've went for Bojan because
Shaqiri scored against Scotland and we've not forgiven him.
Yeah. That was but Bojan, for me, could see why he played for Barcelona. When he come in, really small, but thick legs, powerful. Technically, it was unbelievable. Both feet was amazing. That was
Stoke, wasn't it?
Yeah, Stoke. Yeah, and that's when
Sparky did well.
Yeah, Mark brought him in, and he sort of changed the way we wanted to play, and come in. And Bojan was really key to that. And unfortunately for him, he done his cruciate against Rochdale in one of the cup games as well. So,
right, you've got two attacking players left.
And up on the left hand side, I go Marko Arnautovic.
Oh. Up front or left?
Up on the left.
What about Moisey when he put him up front at West Ham?
Yeah, done brilliant.
Revelation.
And Marco was a maverick, but for me, I think he should have played at one of the top clubs. I know he played for Inter Milan and but I think he could have played for one of the big ones in the Premier League. He had everything: power, pace, personality, a great character. Misjudged a little bit, but again, you learn by mistakes and you prejudge what he is. But when he come into the dressing room, he was unbelievable. Always want to have a laugh. Always wanting to be the best player. and I just love playing with him. Just give him the ball, and I actually at times, so I used to just give him the ball and just laugh because I knew he was just going to terrorise a right back. And I seen sometimes one game we were playing, and he was just phenomenal, unstoppable, and that's what he did. But again, you make decisions in your career what you think is right for you, and he's still playing now. Always linked with big clubs, but I think that he could have played for one of the big clubs in England, which was incredible. And the number 9 for me is Luis Suarez.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Whatever you say, I've never seen a guy like it on a daily basis. Training was, horrible is a bad word, but just demanding, wanted to be the best, mess people around.
A lot of people would use the word horrible. You are right there.
Yeah, but horrible's a different word. But like, just every day played the way he trained. Was like a school kid in a playground. I seen him and Carragher kick lumps at each other on a Friday, like ridiculous. And it was just get on with it. He just got on with it, and he'd leave one on Carragher. Carragher would leave one back on him, but then he'd take it to a Saturday. But again, talking about personalities, English wasn't great, but could understand it when he wanted to understand the usual ones. Mm-hmm. But brilliant guy, and he was a top finisher.
Apparently, he was one of those that, even though he travelled thousands and thousands of miles at international level,
wanted to come back.
When he come back, he says, "Don't think about dropping me." Is that right?
You're going to Uruguay. Go and play for Uruguay. He'd turn back up training Friday morning because of flights and different things. And at the time when I was there, I remember at the time there was a lot of Brazilian, sort of South Americans in in Liverpool, but they were at Man City. There was other clubs, and they'd share a private jet coming back from together. So if they were playing, they'd all fly back, and he'd train on a Friday morning and said, no, I want to play on a Saturday. It's just relentless in what he did. And again, still playing against Inter Miami with Messi, and his career he had at Barcelona and all. It was phenomenal,
I forgot to write this down. So let's just quickly recap.
Okay.
So it was Pepe Reina, Ferguson, Hutton.
No, Hutton in right back, Glenn Johnson left back, Ryan Shawcross, Jamie Carragher, Gerrard, Ferguson, Dan Fletcher, Bojan, Marko Nautovic and Luis Suarez.
Ooh. Wow. Sam, happy?
Very happy indeed.
You manage that team?
I'd love that. Be a pleasure, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, it'd be fun.
You wouldn't need too much coaching, I tell you that now.
Yeah. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed that. More in depth than we usually do, but I really enjoyed it. That was Charlie Adams' Ultimate 11.